The average American consumes about half a cup of refined sugar every single day. And when you suddenly take that away, your body doesn't just get healthier, it has to quickly change how it produces energy. And within days, that begins to change how you look, feel, and think. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what happens when you stop eating refined sugar. We'll follow your body through the first 24 hours and the rest of your first week, then weeks 2 to 4, and finally, what happens when you stay off refined sugar long term. Along the way, you'll see what's actually going on with your blood, hormones, brain, and even your skin, so you understand why these changes happen and how sugar has really been affecting your body. In the first 24 hours after you stop eating refined sugar, one of the first things your body does is start using up stored carbohydrates, known as glycogen, which is stored in your liver and muscles. Glycogen is stored with water, about 3 to 4 grams of water for every gram of glycogen. So as your body burns through this fuel, it also releases all that water. That is why many people see a quick drop on the scale in the first couple of days, primarily due to that water weight being flushed out, not body fat. By day 2 and 3, this is where things start to feel different. And for a lot of people, this is the point where they think something is going wrong. You may feel more tired than usual, and you might notice headaches, mood swings, or strong cravings for sweet or refined carb-heavy foods. When you do eat sugar, it activates the brain's reward system by triggering dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. When you suddenly remove those sugar hits, dopamine signaling drops for a while, which can make you feel irritable, less motivated, and even more desperate for something sweet. Your hunger hormones are reacting too. Ghrelin, your hunger hormone, can spike as your body looks for quick energy. And leptin, the signal that tells you you're full, may not be working as clearly yet. This is the point where some people may begin to struggle a little bit with how their body is feeling. But your body is just beginning to adjust to a new normal. With less sugar intake, it has to find alternative sources of energy, increasing its use of stored fuel and slowly shifting more toward burning fat between meals instead of relying on constant quick sugar hits. As your body is adjusting to using the glycogen stored in your liver and muscles as a fuel source, it also begins making small amounts of new glucose from other sources, like protein and fat, to keep blood sugar in a safe range for your brain. This process is called gluconeogenesis. This transition period can feel like sugar withdrawal, but it's really your metabolism and your hormones recalibrating to a lower sugar environment. By the 4th day, this is when things really start to take a turn. Those initial cravings and energy dips usually begin to ease, and many people start to feel more stable. Your blood sugar isn't spiking as dramatically anymore, so insulin can work in a steady rhythm instead of firing off in constant surges. Your energy may feel more consistent throughout the day, without the same sharp highs and crashes. You might also notice you are not thinking about food as often. That constant pull towards something sweet starts to quiet down, even if it has not disappeared completely. Under the surface, your metabolism is becoming more efficient at using alternative sources of energy, like stored fat, for a slow, steady release of energy between meals. This is also why cravings start to decrease during this phase. Without those constant spikes and crashes, your body begins to regulate appetite in a more steady, predictable way. Some people also begin to notice small changes in focus and mental clarity. Less brain fog, better concentration, and fewer mid-afternoon crashes. By week 2, the shift becomes more noticeable. Many people start to see less bloating. Their face may look a little less puffy, and their clothes may even fit slightly differently, even if the scale has not changed dramatically yet. With insulin levels now generally lower and more stable, it's easier for your body to release stored fat and use it as fuel in between meals, instead of relying on frequent sugar intake for energy. This shift toward more efficient fat burning is one of the key reasons energy levels often feel more stable during this phase, and you may find that you can go longer between meals without feeling the same urgency to eat. That's partly because your hunger hormones are no longer spiking as wildly. At this point, your digestion may also start to feel more regular, with less bloating or discomfort after meals, especially because cutting out refined sugar often means cutting a lot of ultra-processed foods. You may also begin to notice small improvements in your skin, like less redness, fewer breakouts, and less puffiness. By weeks 3 and 4, this is no longer just a short-term adjustment. Your body is settling into a new normal. Energy levels feel more steady throughout the day. that mid-afternoon crash that used to hit out of nowhere may start to fade, and your energy feels more even from morning through the rest of the day. Sleep may start to feel deeper and more consistent, which also helps with your energy levels the next day. Over time, eating less refined sugar is linked to fewer nighttime awakenings and more time in the deeper, restorative stages of sleep, and it can also reduce the inflammation and stress hormone activity that makes sleep lighter and more easily disrupted. Mood can also feel more stable, with fewer sharp swings compared to before. High sugar intake repeatedly spikes and then drops your blood sugar and dopamine levels, which is linked to more irritability, anxiety, and mood swings over time. As you lower refined sugar, those rapid highs and crashes calm down, inflammation and stress hormone activity can decrease, and your emotional state often feels less reactive. By now, your appetite tends to feel much more consistent. You are not dealing with the same intense swings in hunger or cravings throughout the day. You may also start to notice clearer skin and less overall puffiness as inflammation and fluid retention continue to drop. Eating less added sugar means fewer frequent insulin spikes and less sugar-related compounds, which can damage collagen and make skin look more inflamed and less firm over time. Over the long term, reducing refined sugar intake over months and years is consistently associated with better metabolic health. That includes more stable blood sugar, improved insulin sensitivity, and an easier time maintaining a healthy body weight. There is strong evidence that regularly consuming less refined sugar is linked to a lower risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. That same pattern of less sugar, better blood sugar control, and lower insulin levels also reduces stress on your blood vessels and your liver, which supports cardiovascular and liver health over time. These long-term benefits are really an extension of the shift that begins in the first few days when you cut sugar. You move from a spike and crash pattern of fueling to a more stable, consistent supply of energy, with your body relying more on stored fuel between meals. So what starts as a small change in your diet ends up reshaping the way your body manages energy, hunger, and even how you feel day to day. It gives your body the chance to move back toward a more stable, balanced way of operating that it's designed for longevity. The first few days can feel uncomfortable, with cravings, low energy, and possibly some headaches, but that phase is temporary. As your blood sugar, hormones, and brain chemistry begin to adapt, the things people struggle with, like constant cravings, energy crashes, and that feeling of being hungry all the time, start to ease off. And the most important part is that this shift is not just about willpower. It is about rewiring the underlying system your body uses to manage energy, hunger, and mood. And in the process, lowering your long-term risk for things like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and fatty liver disease. So you're not only feeling better now, you're also protecting your future health every single day. If this helped you understand what actually happens when you quit sugar, make sure you're subscribed to the Wellness Method for more science-backed health videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.